right, welcome to Fail Time Part 6. We're going to attempt a Goose spawner for the game we're working on, but we're going to make the Goose spawner its entirely own project. Alright, so Goose spawner attempt number 1. We're going to set a timer, and we're going to give ourselves an hour to figure this out. Let's go open up Godot. So I'm going to go Windows E key right here, and I'm going to go find where I have Godot installed. So I know it's an S, and then R, and then exe, and then Godot. And then within our Godot folder, we have the .NET version of Godot, and then we have the regular version. We're going to go open up the regular Godot 4.2 stable win64.exe. We're going to go open that up by double-clicking it and wait for that to boot up. Now, while we're here, let's go s/r/git repos, and we have a git repo called failtime Godot. Actually, it's called Godot failtime. So let's go find that repo, and we want to create a new folder. So let's go new folder, and we're going to call this attempt goose spawner. So AGS, attempt goose spawner 001. Now, let's make another folder, attempt goose spawner, and we're going to spell it out, right? Attempt goose spawner. But then inside of here, what we're going to do is we're going to go new text document, and we're going to say C folders, and then write AGS for attempt goose spawner, right? So if you see this file name, that means that you're looking at the wrong file, right? You're looking at the wrong file. You want to see C folders, AGS, example, AGS 001, right? Now, with this note here, we can go file new, we can paste that note, and we can save it as readme.txt. So if we end up in the attempt goose spawner folder, and we're wondering, hey, where is the actual code? Well, it's not in attempt goose spawner, it's in AGS 001, because I don't like these long fucking path names. So in AGS 001, we need to make a project here. So let's grab Godot, which already it's opened. Let's grab it and bring it down on this monitor. And we're going to go new. We're going to hit new, the plus button right here. We're going to go project underscore name AGS 001, attempt goose spawner number 1. Then we need to browse. Now we need to change from the C drive to the S drive. And then we're going to go /, what? We want to go S. We want to go into the fake R drive, the Git repos. And then we want to go into the Godot fail time repo. And within the Godot fail time repo, we have AGS 001, attempt goose spawner number 1. Let's hit this, and let's select the current folder. And so here's the project name. Here is the project path, and it's going to be for mobile. We are not going to set version control here because we have a whole bunch of separate projects that are all in a bigger Git repo. We're going to hit, I think, just create and edit, right? So now this is going to shut down Godot, and Godot is going to open up on my main monitor. So you can't see it right now because it's on my top monitor, which is my main monitor. So we have to wait for Godot to start back up. Now, while we're waiting for it to start up, we know that we have some assets somewhere in here that we want to reuse, right? So we can go back into some other folders and see if we can find the goose, right? So the goose is the only thing I really want to use here. So we're going to go copy this goose, and we're going to go back up and go to attempt goose spawner. And we're going to go new folder, folder ASS for assets, double click into there, go paste that goose. Yes, that is very efficient to just cut and paste assets, but we're not aiming for like memory efficiency here in terms of our project structure. We are aiming for simplicity. All right, so now that this is open, looking at how to instantiate things, we want to create a whole bunch of nodes. So let's create a 2D scene first. So we're going to go into 2D view right here, up here, clicking this button here, right? We have all these asset lib, script, 3D, 2D. We're going to hit 2D here, okay? And then we're going to hit new 2D scene, right? We're going to call this 2D scene. We're going to rename it to N2D for node 2D. We're going to call it world, and that's good enough for me. Now we want to create another scene that's going to be our goose. So I'm not sure how we do that from here. I think we might hit plus for a new scene. So let's hit this plus and see what happens. So it says add a child node. That's not what we actually want to do. Let's go click this drop down. Filter by type, filter by group. Auto expand selected. All scene sub resource. So that's not what I want. Let's hit these things. So where the fuck is the option to create just a new thing? Instantiate child scene plus add child node. And I don't actually know. How to create another kind of root node, right? So how about scene? Can we just do new scene? What if we do new scene? Let's go new scene. Actually, before we do that, let's go scene, save scene, and n2d world.tscn. Remember to get rid of the underscore there. Save that. Let's go scene and see what happens when we do new scene, right? Or actually, let's not. Let's go into the documentation. Godot create new scene node, right? Like, I don't know why the fuck that's so fucking hard. It's like, the thing is that you watch tutorials and then you think you know what to do, and then you realize, holy shit, this one thing that I didn't even think about, because it was so fucking basic, I didn't even look it up how to do it because I thought it would be so fucking easy, right? So let's look at this. Nodes and scene instances. This guide explains how to get nodes, create nodes, and add them as childs, blah, blah, blah. And the coloring is all fucking off. Do I have some type of dark mode add-on here? Like, why? Extensions. Manage extensions. Let's manage our extensions. I think it might have some type of dark mode. Dark mode for every website. Take care of your eyes. Yeah, let's remove this, because this is fucking up websites, I believe, yeah? Okay. And now, if I refresh this, does this go normal? Yeah, that goes normal now. Good. Okay. So, let's just read this, I guess, and figure out how this is done. Now, I'm really getting tired of fucking talking. So, I might just read this and just do it and then talk about what I've read, I guess. Because, I don't know, like, I'm losing my fucking vocal cords, and it's really fucking annoying, where it's like, man, you know, I wanna learn to code, but I also want to record my progress, and that's not gonna make things harder. Recording what you're already gonna fucking do, that's not gonna make things harder, right? You just have to hit record and start recording, right? Well, not if you're fucking talking, right? So, I'm gonna turn on some fucking music, and I'm just gonna fucking do it. Because I'm losing my fucking vocal cords. I can't fucking keep on talking. Okay, so I'm seeing how to like instantiate stuff, but the question is, how do you make like one of those new root nodes that I was seeing in the spawning stuff, right? Like, how do you do that? We might want to go back to YouTube again. I might actually want to look at some of this stuff that we looked at before. A label can be its own scene. Yeah, like, I don't know. We're gonna have to watch one of those old videos that we were watching earlier, because I'm looking at this, and I'm like, how the fuck did... No, that one's too complicated. Let's go look at this one. I think the first thing I watched...
Gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and due to, we'll call it reasons, there have been a number of new developers in the Godot ecosystem the last couple of weeks, and most of them are...
I think the first thing I watched had it. Oh, no, this is way too long.
And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a crash course on Godot 4, which is currently in its alpha. So this is going to be some of the new features that you would find in Godot. So basically, we have all of the 12 animations set up here. What we're going to need next is a animation tree. So if I click on player and add a child node, animation tree, in our animation tree...
Was this the one with the Pokemon spawner?
Connected with the new script. As we do have 3 different Pokemons, I will randomize this function. To make it select a random Pokemon, we also need a variable which holds the 3 Pokemon.
Okay, where the fuck are those resources coming from?
Yes, in this tree you decide for the 3 random Pokemon PNGs into the file system. To set up, I will start with opening up 4 different scenes. Make one 2D scene for the Metabot. Add a sprite and dragging the PNG of the Metabot. Rename it before saving the scene, which you will do with Ctrl plus S so you don't confuse yourself afterward. In the same way we will make the Rattata. Open a new 2D scene, add a sprite on the node.
Okay, so this... Okay, I see what's happening here. This scene graph, that scene hierarchy here, this tab only displays one scene, and each one of these tabs switches scenes. So over here, I misunderstood this. I thought we could have more than one root node, and each one of those root nodes would be a different scene. That's not how this works. There is only one root node in this kind of panel here, and that is the root of your scene. So that's where I'm getting confused, right? So now that I know that, I'm gonna say Pokemon spawner. I'm gonna put this in my notes as Pokemon spawner. Now that I kind of understand what's going on there. And maybe spawner Pokemon. Spawner Pokemon. Spawner Pokemon, right? Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is...
and drag in the PNG and save. Just follow the exact same steps by creating a sprite for the wheel.
So we can make these different resources, right?
I'm out.
And then to instantiate them, I believe they're preloading them. And when you preload, that makes a packed scene resource, I believe, right? So, so the preload command makes something called a packed scene resource, according to my notes, right? Preload, yeah, packed scene resource. Okay. We'll pause that there. Okay, so let's go back to here. So now that we know that's kind of what's happening here, we want to go over here and just click this. Oh, so we click this plus, now we have this stuff here. Now, I don't think that we actually need, like, a node. I don't think we need, like, a node to be the root of it, like a 2D scene node or a 3D scene node. I think we can just create, like, other node, and I think we can go directly for a sprite. Like, I don't think we have to do any of that other stuff. I think we can just go directly for a sprite 2D. We don't have to, like, over-containerize it. I could be wrong, but let's try it out. So new 2D sprite 2D, let's create it. Yeah, so our sprite 2D can be the root node, right? So now let's go rename this and say S2D Goose, right? Sprite 2D Goose. And then we're going to go over here to this texture. And we're going to go load, and we're going to find in our assets our goose.png. We're going to go open that up. There we go. We got a goose. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to save this. So we're going to go save scene as, and we're going to call this S2D Goose. And I want to put this in like a folder called sprites, I think. So we're going to go make a new folder here. And we're going to call it sprites. Okay. And then we're going to have sprite 2D goose in there, right? Sprite 2D goose.tscn. Okay, save that. Okay. So now that we have this, so I assume that playing this and playing this are like two different things, right? Let's go to project settings, and inside of this general tab, right? We got all these tabs up here. We want the general tab. Inside of application, we have this run thing right here. The main scene is going to be node2d world.tscn, right? All these subscenes should probably be in their own folders. Okay, so let's hit open on that. And then let's close. And we shouldn't see anything, right? If we go play this, we shouldn't see anything because it's a completely empty scene, right? Project names AGS001. God damn, how the fuck did it make that plural? Okay, so that's not what I want the project name. Scene, project settings. Where's the name? Project names. I'm gonna rename that to project name. Close that. Control-Alt-Shift-S. Okay, project name AGS001. If I play this again, does it have the correct name of the project at the top of the bar right here? Project name AGS001. Okay, cool. So that's the correct name. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we want to somehow instantiate a goose over here somehow, right? I'm going to click this, and we're just going to hit this script tag right here. And we're going to create a new script, node2d world.godot script. We'll create that. And within here, let's try to create that goose preload, right? So I'm going to say var, and I'm going to call it a packed scene resource. Can I create an object like this? Can I do this? Can I create like a JavaScript-y object like this? Can I do this? Am I allowed to do that? Like, is that legal? Is that legal? I guess that's legal. So can I do something like pack scene resource dot and then we're going to use preload resource slash sprites slash sprite2d goose.tscn, right? Can we do that? Is that a thing we can do? So we can't just do that? I want to know how we can do this, because I feel like we can do this, but I don't know how, right? Create anonymous object Godot script, right? How do you do that? Is there a way? So I specifically want to create anonymous object Godot script. so I don't know how to do this. Right? So you know what it is? Create object literal Godot script, right? I guess maybe that's more what we want to say, right? Create object literal Godot script. Create object literal Godot script. Create object literal Godot script. Right? I don't know how to do it. Data types and literal. Well, let's go look at this first, I guess. Oh, does it have to have quotes around it? Or is this a dictionary? This might be a dictionary. It might actually be a dictionary. What is this? Is this a dictionary, or what is it? Okay, I guess we'll read the whole thing, because there's obviously something in here we want to know, but I don't know what it is, right? Okay, so I'm going to start reading this to figure out what I need to do. I'm going to turn music back on. I'll throw this up here. So this is a dictionary, and what the fuck is this, right? Okay, so I'm looking at the style guide because possibly in the style guide we can figure out how to use curly braces. Right, because what I want to know is how, can we just create an object on the fly here, right? So I see this right here. Exception to this rules are arrays, dictionaries, and enums. Use single indentation level to distinguish continuation, right? So like this, huh? Okay, so this is a dictionary. If this is a dictionary, then... Okay, so this is enumeration. So what the fuck is this? Name, type... Oh, it's an array with anonymous objects is what it looks like. Um... Let's try GPT. Maybe GPT will do a better job. You know, maybe the old way of searching around for answers is wrong. Godot is relatively new. How do you create an object literal in Godot script? Okay. So it needs quotes around it. So it's basically like a JSON object, not a JavaScript object literal. Okay, now it's gaslighting me. Because it just showed me how to fucking do this. Object literal creation, right? This thing right here. Oh, I see. My object, property 1, property 2. So the different properties are actually dictionaries. Okay, so it's a dictionary. So they're not actually properties, it's a dictionary. Okay. I see. Okay. So there's no such thing. There's no fucking such thing. There's a dictionary. Okay, so going back to here. That means that this, if we want to make this a member of the dictionary, we could do that, right? There we go, right? And then what we want to do is we want to instantiate that somehow. So let's just do the onReady and just do, let's just try to instantiate it, right? So, how do we do that? So var scene instance equals packed scene resources dot mgoose. How do you go into it? Do you do like mgoose? How do you access a dictionary? I don't know. So to access a member of a dictionary, so I see you can do .property1, .property2. I would like to do it more explicitly. So dictionary, okay, so we can do it in square braces, we can put the name, right? That makes more sense to me. So we'll do it in quotes because I don't like the I want to know it's a dictionary when I use it. So if we do this, then we can get the scene instance, and then we need to do We need to do self.addChild, I think. Right? And if we do that, then I think we can just get a goose to get spawned in the center when we start up the scene. Let's try that, right? Function addChild in base node2d n2d world.gd object derived class of argument, not a subclass of expected argument class. Okay, so not correct. Whatever the fuck that is, that ain't fucking correct. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Well, we have the tutorial we were just watching, so why don't we go back to, let's go close some of this bullshit we had open, right? Like, all this fucking bullshit. Let's close all this God fucking damn it, Windows. Okay, so let's go put this back down here. You see how, like, you can see it here. This is fucking stuck right here. Okay, so how are they doing this?
Out function, we want to randomize this.
Okay, so Pokemon 1, 2, and 3 are preloads, right? And those preloads make it, it's not really a scene, it is, let me look at my notes here. It's not a loaded scene, it is a packed scene resource. So these three things are actually packed scene resources.
Make it select a random Pokemon. We also need a variable with
I don't care about all this fucking randomization shit. I just want to know the basic logic, right? So there's a whole bunch of bullshit I don't fucking care about.
instance.
Okay, so you have to use the instance to it, right? So once you have the packed scene resource to make the actual scene resource, the scene, you have to do .instance. And then you can add it as a child. Okay.
To reset the timer.
So we're missing the instance command. So go back into here, right? Wrong. We want to do var. So this is still so it's still a packed scene resource. So we're going into our packed scene resources, we're grabbing this goose. It is still a preload, so it's still a packed scene resource. PSR for packed scene resource. And then S2D goose equals packed scene resource goose dot instantiate. I think it's dot instantiate, right? It's not instance, it's dot instantiate. So if we look at this, oh, dot instance. Dot instance. Okay. And then self.addChild S2D goose. Okay. And now, first of all, why the fuck? I really find it really fucking annoying that, like, I edit this and it already fucking crashed on me, but it's, like, still fucking running. It's like, okay, I get it. It's, I guess it's a debug session. I don't know. It just irritates me. Anyways, let's just go play this again, and let's see if we can just get a goose to show up, right? No? No! Non-existent instance in base packed scene. Uh-huh. In packed scene. Yeah, it's a packed scene resource. We don't call it the instance function, right? So, if we look at this, kinds, Pokemon random, Pokemons are a preload, right? Resources, text-based scene node, right? And then we instance them, right? Or maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't fucking don't. All right, so we don't know what the fuck we're doing. And so I guess this is also wrong here, right? So I don't know. That's wrong. Okay, well then, let's go look up the instance command. I fucking hate this. Okay, so we're not gonna do more than 2 hours of this a fucking day. And if I sleep in and end up skipping a day, I don't fucking care. I can't do this for more than, look, I can't do this for more than 2 hours a day. I fucking hate this. It's better than Game Maker. Don't get me wrong. It is better than Game Maker. But, Jesus fucking Christ, sometimes it's like, you're really gonna fuck me up. This fucking sucks sometimes. Okay. Okay. So creating instances, right? Oh, this is a little ball demo, right? Okay. Okay, instance shows up way too many fucking times. No? How about instantiate? Oh my fucking god, where the fuck is the commands? Is this literally a whole fucking article without any fucking commands? I already watched the fucking YouTube video that did this and it had commands in it. It's... I don't want to instance a goddamn script. Nodes and scene instances. I like how creating instances doesn't fucking tell you how to do it, or it does, but it doesn't tell you how to do it in fucking script, right? Yeah, so enemy scene, preload, right? Add child, new enemy equals enemy scene dot instance. That's what I'm fucking doing. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that I'm not actually allowed to being just a sprite. Maybe it has to be attached to Node 2D. Maybe I'm just fucking wrong about that, right? So if we just try to instantiate it, maybe that actually works, but maybe it's adding the child that doesn't work, right? Maybe it's adding the child that is the part that wrecks it, right? So maybe we can play this and maybe that works, right? Non-existent function instance in base packed scene. What the fuck? What the fucking hell, right? Base instance packed scene. Yes, it's a packed scene resource. I know it's a goddamn packed scene resource. I'm looking at fucking tutorials. They're telling me that's the way to do it, right? Preload scene.instance, right? Where the fuck? I fucking hate this. Documentation on instancing scenes, right? Oh, page not found. Well, that's fucking great. Right, how do I instance a scene in Godot 4.2? Right? Mm-hmm. So where's preload in here? Is preload used in here? Okay, here's preload, right? Oh my fucking god. Let me guess. They just fucking changed the goddamn keyword. I'm wondering, hey, what the fuck is the difference between instance and instantiate? Oh, there is no fucking difference. One is one version of Godot and one's the other. Is that what the fuck is going on here? Is that what the fuck is going on here? Right? Is that my fucking... var sprite2d goose equals packed scene resource, and then packed scene resource goose dot instantiate. Oh, great. No fucking help with IntelliSense there, right? Okay, well, let's fucking try that, right? Let's fucking try that. Let's stop fucking running the project. Okay? It's like, why does it have to fucking crash and then keep on running? Whatever. Okay, so the question is this running? Okay, it runs without crashing. Good. Okay, can we just create one fucking goose? Just one fucking goose. Alright? Let's just create one goddamn fucking goose. We'll call it a fucking day. There we go. We got a fucking goose in the corner. It took us an hour and 4 minutes to fucking do that. There you go. There you fucking go. We did it. Alright. So let's go to our fail time screen. Attempt goose spawner number 1. Yeah, we definitely fucking failed that, right? Because instantiate, right? Okay, so let's go back to the fucking bottom monitor here. Can we get the IntelliSense to fucking work, right? We know that this is a packed scene resource, but, what's the official type of that, right? Oh, it's literally called a packed scene? No? 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 Okay. So if I change this type here, I have compilation errors now, right? Okay, because I'm being an idiot. This is actually Sprite2D. I'm being an idiot because it's this thing right here, right? This is a pack scene, right? Let's put the correct types on this to make it a little bit more readable. Unable to write, yeah, whatever the fuck. Stop fucking running. How about that? Okay. I really fucking hate that when it does not work, I have to, like, fucking restart. Okay, so we got that goose in the top. We added a little bit more explicitness as to what different things are. And the next thing I want to do is I want to know, like, if I do dot, if I get the instantiate command now that I have the correct types on things, right? PSR goose dot instantiate. Okay, good. Okay, and then I can run that, and I got my little goose in the corner. You can see him up there, right, hiding off in the corner. Good enough. Good enough. I'm so fucking done. Okay, so now that we got what we wanted, right? We got what we wanted. Yeah, we got what we wanted. Let's just go save this, right? So, in our Godot fail time project here, where we have all these different attempts, we're going to go git bash here. And we're going to do git status. We're going to go git add dot. And then we're going to go git commit -m Goose spawner attempt one. We'll call it only one goose. Right? Only one goose. We only got one goose in that goose spawner, right? And then git push git SSH master, right? Alright. And then clear git status. Right. So if you want to go look at the repo, right? If you want to go look at the repo for this, I'm going to close this, right? We got one goose to spawn in the project. If you want to take a look at the project, on GitHub, you can go to www.github.com/kanjicoder/Godot failtime, right? And you can clone this project, right? So this project right here. GitHub users are now required to enable two-factor authentication as an additional security measure. Your activity on GitHub includes you in this requirement. You will need to enable two-factor authentication on your account or be restricted from account actions. Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Enable two-factor. So now I gotta log into my fucking... So now I gotta log into my fucking email every single goddamn time I log into GitHub? Fucking hell. Alright. Well, fuck you too, GitHub. Gonna have to... Fucking hell. Alright, so... If you want to check this out, you go to code, you can go download the zip, you can unzip it, and then attempt goose spawner 1 is this thing here. We only have one goose, right? Now why the fuck is this? Maybe I forgot to commit this the previous time. AJS would be attempt just camera. Let's see if there's any changes in here that also say only one goose. .Godot. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck that's changed. Maybe because I opened it and closed it or something? I don't fucking know. Okay, so we got something to spawn. Okay, so, summary. We got one goose to spawn. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We spent a lot of time reading documentation, trying to figure out the syntax of Godot. We don't know what we're fucking doing, right? What we just did in the code probably should have taken us like 5 fucking minutes, but we didn't know what we were doing. So instead of taking 5 minutes, we took an hour and 10 minutes. I'm so fucking done with this. I don't want to do any more Godot stuff today. I'm gonna go work on my main game engine. But every single day, or I should say every single sleep-wake cycle, we'll dedicate, 2 hours. 1 hour of study, 1 hour of coding to Godot. But I'm so fucking sick of this. I can't do more than one session a fucking day. I just can't.